Narcissist who has no grip on reality. What he's doing, what he has been doing, which is that I am king and I can rule like king, and the Republicans, I have to say before, laid down for him. McCain, Graham, they all laid down on the stuff when he did the appointment.
Now we got two questions.
Here's the point. Now they've got to stop it because this will destroy any.
Now here's an interesting tidbit.
They should have used it in the election and they didn't.
Well, they didn't need to.
They
ran against Obama and it worked. You can't really second guess a winning strategy.
Well, the president can't have it both ways, though. The president deliberately delayed this action for a year when he had the power to do it. If he says he has the power to do it, why did he delay it after the election? And now he's saying, well, Republicans, their time is up. When he had all the time in the world to do this before, it was an election issue, and now he's saying, well, it's not a
What are we to make of Biden, apparently, in this meeting on Friday, says to John Boehner, how long do you need? And Obama,
you know why he did that? You know how he cut him off? Obama cut off Joe Biden when he asked the question of how much time do they need? Because President Obama has no interest in working with Congress.
Office or this Constitution that he has sworn to uphold, and he's shown that time and time again.
You can't do it politically. You just literally cannot do it. Okay? Transparent financing, unless I have transparent financing, also transparent spending. I mean, this bill was written in a tortured way to make sure CBO did not score the mandate as taxes. If CBO scored the mandate as taxes, the bill dies. Okay? So it's written to do that. In terms of risk-rated subsidies, if you had a law which said healthy people are going to pay in, it made explicit that healthy people pay in and sick people get money, it would not have passed. Okay? Just like lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. And basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever. But basically, that was really, really critical to getting the thing to pass. And, it's the second best argument. Look, I wish Mark was right. We can make it all transparent. But I'd rather have this law than not. So it's kind of like his reporter story. Yeah, there's things I wish I could change, but I'd rather have this law than not.
We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you will be able to keep your health care plan, period.
First of all, if you've got health insurance, you like your doctor, you like your plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan. Nobody is talking about taking that away from you.
No matter what you've heard, if you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your private health insurance plan, you can keep your plan, period.
If you are among the hundreds of millions of Americans who already have health insurance through your job, or Medicare, or Medicaid, or the VA, nothing in this plan will require you or your employer to change the coverage of the doctor you have. Let me repeat this. Nothing in our plan requires you to change what you have. Our approach would preserve the right of Americans who have insurance to keep their doctor and their plan.
It again. President Obama, who knew for 3 years that Americans, even if they liked their health care plan, would not be able to keep it, continued to lie, saying that they could. And he just did it again. And although he claims he truly believed that Americans could keep their health care plans, he now admits he was inaccurate. So why was he inaccurate? Why can't we keep our health care plans if we like them? Why? Because Mr. Transparency himself changed the fine print and made believe he didn't know anything about it. Kind of reminds me of a used car salesman. He changed the rules so that we could not keep our health care plans. Shock, he lied again. He lied about that awful video in Benghazi. He lied about getting to the truth about the IRS. And he lied to us about what most of us consider sacred, our family's health. Now, how do I know this? I know it because his own Justice Department in legal papers filed in federal court admitted that most health plans would lose their grandfather status by the end of 2013. So, Mr. President, we finally know where you draw the line on lies. Lie to the American people? No problem. Lie to Congress? No problem. Lie to an oversight committee? Not a problem. But even you know not to lie to a federal judge in federal court. And mind you, it's not only the 5%, as you say, who have their own plans that you now admit will lose coverage, but all of us, including well over 100 million American workers who get coverage through their employers, who will lose their grandfather protection status. Except, of course, you, Mr. President, your staff, Congress, their staff, and those union friends of yours. But you say that we should welcome the new mandate, that it will bring better health care and lower premiums to us. Now, how could that possibly be? There is no way that these plans can be cheaper. Why? Because they have to include stuff that we don't need. Now, I'm guessing if you're a senior citizen, you probably do not need pediatric dental care. False teeth, maybe, but not pediatric dental care. And I'm guessing that if you're a gay man, you probably don't need labor room and delivery benefits. And if you're a postmenopausal woman, I'm guessing you probably don't need maternity benefits. Maybe a few fans or air conditioners, but not maternity benefits. And the depths that you, Mr. President, went through to perpetuate this lie is only outdone by the ineptitude of your administration to even make good on your signature legislation. Now, what do I mean by that? How do you spend more than $600 million on a website that doesn't work? Why do you hire a Canadian company that even Canada fired with a French name that nobody can pronounce through a no-bid contract? Why would you even go out of the United States, the home of Amazon and Google, and hire a foreign company? And this week, we find out that your own FBI has been investigating one of your website contractors for fraud. The same contractor repeatedly written up in trade journals and exposés for lowballing bids to win contracts, only to have the final cost balloon exponentially. But I'll bet you're going to get to the bottom of this and you're going to hold people accountable. But why would I believe that, since you permitted navigators with criminal convictions to gather our personal, private information to put on a website that doesn't work? Why would you do this? Why lie about something that you know will ultimately be exposed as blatantly untrue? Why lie about a video in Benghazi? Why lie about your IRS targeting your political opponents? Why? So that you, Mr. President, can win an election. This week, an ABC Washington Post poll found that had the healthcare lie been exposed before November 2012, Romney would have won the election 49% to 45%. And Benghazi? Of course, you had to say it was a video. If you admitted that you knew al-Qaeda had killed 4 Americans, then I guess your Osama bin Laden narrative wouldn't have been so compelling. And if the IRS hadn't targeted your political enemies during your election, which, by the way, was pretty close, we might also have had a completely different result. So now that you've been forced to admit the lie, even your own party is panicked. They are scared. The sycophants who touted your health care bill, including Senator Mary Landrieu, Congressman Nick Rahall, they're jumping ship. What to do going forward? Now, yesterday you gave us an extra month next year to sign up for Obamacare. You say it's good news for consumers because we'll have more time to learn about the plans before enrolling. You know, my dad, rest in peace, always told me there are 2 reasons for doing things: a good reason and the real reason. The real reason? The 1 month would move the start of the 2015 enrollment and the inevitable increase in premiums to after the 2014 midterm elections. Now, isn't that special? Mr. President, with all due respect, you have done nothing but pull the wool over Americans' eyes in your relentless pursuit of power. Whether it was a nuclear option this week in the Senate or trying to convince the American public that we couldn't have saved those 4 Americans that we now know were begging for help in Benghazi. You came into office claiming you would give the American people the most transparent administration in history. That's one of the few things that maybe you didn't lie about. Except the transparency is about you. You are the one who's transparent, and Americans now see right through your lies.